to yet another edition of we program Classic QM Live. And today now the last edition for this week with the reach you now a classic studio, number one classic drive inside Bo, South part of Sierra Leone. And when we made the program the reach you know this morning, my name now Timothy Luseni. Inside the program today we send stocks inside the program they come out from maximum is a following on your rishi, following on your stone.
Foreigner Rishi.
Very soon. Alright, that now send stocks at the program today. We come up from maximum. We say forward on your rishi, ego your stone. Plenty thank you to you for the send stocks at the program today. And main producer for this program now, Abubakar Manskanu and Aruna Kamara and the executive producer now, Richard Lahai Geval. Where they made the program reach my name now, Timothy Luseni. Inside the program today, we studio guest now Ben Say in the director for SLOIC. They will inside the program today as we can talk on the impact of SLOIC in building the middleman power. To continue for those inside the program this morning, we get a lot of issues we will get for discuss inside the program today. Another story inside the program this morning as President Biyobi don't ease some restriction on COVID-19. Well, we colleague Amara Pao Bigo Waka but West Police Division go na the traffic department they give statistics on accident rates. I'm about to give some reports on that story inside the program this morning. Again for inside the program, people them will be they live now. First the National Electoral Commission we can call agriculture. Well the place that say National Road Safety Traffic Road Safety Transport Corporation because they don't pull them commodity, they disable the agriculture office where they don't pull the commodity. We colleague Jamiru Kebi will file in that report for we inside the program. Again for come inside the program this morning. Bo inside Bo yesterday now the Bo Government Secondary School one apartment bid up born which lead to the fire accident till now everybody know. Now you find this to the people there. We colleagues here, Vandy get for filing that report inside the program. Which means at the studio, I do it Haruna Kamara, we get for critically analyze the issues inside the program. Haruna, good morning, welcome to the program.
Of course, good morning, listeners and viewers of Classic Radio. Of course, I do have for good critical analysis of issues of national interest.
Vandy, good morning, welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, Timothy. Good morning, listeners and viewers of Classic Radio.
Fabo, don't forget to say Vandy inside the program for bring with text messages and what they can inside the program. Yourself will be part of the conversation by way of sending your comments, your contribution to the number then 079 553990 079 553990 or 034 579903 or you following our Facebook page Classic Radio FM 99.7 Bowl. You will be part of the program. We get forget with UK analyst Festus Williams himself. We get forget with USA analyst Salas. All get for the inside the program this morning for giving critical analysis inside the program. As I tell you inside the program this morning, we deal with instead. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Yes, good morning, Timothy, and good morning, colleagues in the studio and also viewers listening to us.
Welcome to Classic Radio.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. And then now Ben the director for SLOIC, our studio guest, as we look at the impact of SLOIC in building middleman power. You don't tune at the studio, we'll therefore discuss length inside the issues and this morning. So let me start proper one with you, Ben said. Let me look at SLOIC.
Generally, good morning, listeners and also viewers who they listen to Classic Radio this morning. I want to humbly say it's a pleasure for having me for the very first time at the studio, and I'm also I'm very impressed of having another. When you get a business and you get competition, you always at least move forward with having the best. So I am pleased with the environment, and I hope and pray that it will live long and also will be sustainable for some people in this part of the region. I have special passion for being, in an environment, in a media environment, and so each time I see it, I'm always impressed with it and also have a kind of passion with it. Back to what I am here for.
Yeah.
Joining you today is a pleasure for me, at least to bring to the people once more in Bo and those who are viewing us anywhere, wherever they find themselves. to give an update about the OIC program generally. But when you look at the OIC itself is Opportunities Industrialization Center. The Sierra Leone is a chapter.
Okay.
It's an affiliate entity to the worldwide OIC programs. So we operate. The headquarters of the OIC is in Washington DC, where we call the OICI. And so every country outside the OIC they exist. Of course, I go then at the sub-region where we talk about like the Guinea OIC, the Liberia OIC, the Ghana, the Liberia, the Sierra Leone chapter also. Resistance is based on really reaching the marginalized, the downtrodden, the financially impoverished, so we reach them with skills, desirable skills, and we target grouping in our young people. Why would they target young people? We get the belief that even if they can deploy policemen at every person in the month, when the minds of the youth are not rehabilitated, we still continue to have problems with society. And if that is the case, we target young people for rehabilitate their minds, for also give them desirable skills so that they will contribute to the socio-economic development of their communities, socio-economic development of their families, socio-economic development of even themselves, and socio-economic development of the nation and the wider world. So the OIC, for example, the Sierra Leone chapter, a graduate from the OIC can work everywhere across the world, because if you say you will find the OIC across the globe. And so if that is the case, over the years, Sierra Leone as an affiliate entity to the worldwide OIC would not exist now 44 years this in operations. And during these 44 years of operations, much has been achieved to an extent that there is no entity where you go enter inside this country where you not go find with graduates there where they contribute meaningfully to the social standards of this nation. So if that is the case, it's plausible for us to have existed. And we have also contributed to state security, because mark you, if we have not been in existence, you will get a lot of problems with society. And we will engage youth on a daily basis. By rule registration, we are given license to operate in this country as key stakeholders in the education sector. So therefore, we operate with the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education as a line ministry.
You mentioned charity organization, humanitarian organization. So how on a service to the people in the like?
Being a humanitarian organization, I lay the premise, I tell you, say, we service like tuition-free technical and vocational education. That makes the premise very clear. When we talk about tuition-free, if you go to all the centers across the country, people are charges and they pay. Technical education is the most expensive education that you can come across the world, and therefore not quite many people they even invest into it. Government they try in part for invest into it, but you see that even with the try, you see a lot of space they even for them complement still. Being expensive because, for example, if they train a medicine for the day, you therefore spend a lot of resources on that person in the build host and program. You will get a lot of things for that you deal with before that person becomes really a kind of person where a holistic will contribute to society. So it has been very expensive over the years. If we say if you go to our centers, you see if somebody they buy a lathe machine, for example, a lathe machine costs more than 1 billion euros. That they go to build school for you, we will build a lot of schools for you. But if you talk about capital intensive nature, come to technical and vocational education. So now only when you partner with key stakeholders, both at international level, you will be able to roll them out for a sustainable situation like we have done over the years. Quite many institutions don't come and go, but the OIC still they continue because of a partnership to the worldwide service overseas, bread for the world, you name them, and other humanitarian organizations across the world.
How many years when I don't take Salu in operation?
44 years I told
In Salu?
Yes,
Okay.
from 1976 to date, so you will imagine that an organization has existed within that kind of realm. So when it comes to humanitarian aspect, we dey target people when are they hard to reach people. The hard to reach people, if you go to a center, we dey content in rehabilitating people where people don't reject that society, so to speak. Quite many people look at technical and vocational education as one of the dumping ground for people. But I have always resisted that because I feel say everybody could get the opportunity for learn land, but at the pace and also IQ. So therefore everybody useful in our society. So we dey take people in our ghettos, we dey take people who have been called girls, like you call them. We dey take people from from backgrounds that are not. And so across the country, we say we dey so that we get also people who say also we deal with people also. We also get Center number 2 John, where they service the entire Bond district coming down to Mwanga. We also get Center Nalunge, strategically located, where they service the entire Cambia axis and also the northwest of Sierra Leone. And we get Center Namakeni, where they service the Bombali, Tonkolili, and also the Kwanadugu. So as an organization, this center Nayani service the southeast as well. So we get with a contend with over 3,000 young men, inclusive women, who will service right now at the Skills Training Center. It's called Service Skills Training Center. Now Service Training Center because they are called Skills Development Centers because we believe say with technical education, with industrialization, the country will be a better place and the world itself will be a better place. The admiration of other countries, them who they admire today, countries like China, countries like Italy, you name them, Germany, now countries that they don't embrace technology over the years.
Alright, we hope for joining back. I'm not, carefully listening to what the director don't talk, but the SLYC. You get anything where you want for look at?
Yes, I listened to the director. We eloquently, talk about what the SLOS stands for. Frankly speaking, I was really impressed with him talk, and he's a very good talker. I don't know for quite a long time, but frankly speaking, why should they talk? I see the passion in her for her for maybe youth man will be focused on the society, maybe youth man will contribute meaningfully towards the development of the country. Sierra Leone, when you look at skills or look at the vocational institutions for being a dumping ground. But frankly speaking, as they point out, if you look at advanced nations, now because of they build the middle level manpower, and I mean such countries they grow. But Sierra Leone, when you look at the vocational institution, the technical aspect for being a dumping ground, that when you go there you cannot get a job. One day I go to one and make a powerful statement. I will still echo one in mind. He say, when you have become bookish, you go down to theoretical knowledge, you understand? He says you can quickly retire. He said, but when you are skillful, you have skills. He said you cannot retire. He said, even when you are old, you could be engaged in small. So when I critically analyze that statement, it brings me to a point that indeed vocational institutions are very, very key, in as much as we talk about employment rate in unemployment rate in this country very high. Now, if you leave the vocational institutions, you understand? If you leave the vocational institutions, you can equally, be self-employed. Unlike when you go to university, how much graduates don't leave the university today where they're on the street? They are not employed. But if you are skillful, you have skills. As soon as you graduate, you move from you go into the society. Automatically, you have become self-employed. You understand? You let's say you go do kawata and dine. You understand? You go do a catering. You can even set up a small restaurant. You can sell. You understand? Unlike some people when they go to university, when they go to college, when they promote, except government provides them job. That is the time they become very useful in the society. But when you go to the vocational institution, you come out like SLYC. Of course, our question to you is Timothy, you are a product of SLYC. You understand? So it's good that when people they see that like when these jobs they confirm or they they lend credence to wetin Mr. Sedi talk say when you comot OIC you can work across the job anywhere and that is being proven here Mr. Sedi. Interestingly, you go also realize say the government of the day needs for do a lot in the area of building the middle level manpower. Agree they don't also establish technical institutions, but it's like what SLOIC do. I'm not here to do praise singing, but SLOIC is doing well. But my other concern now is the area of startup kits. I want to know where I don't know if Ben Seller come towards that area there. I really want to know how empowered they are. Indeed, when you go out there, you become self-employed. But what about the way somebody will left? I don't know which kind of project they put in place, or if they have any project. When somebody is leaving SLOIC, if they get started, they get somewhere for start. Because some graduates, there's some people where they come out and fix the institution. They say except they provide me 2 kits. You understand? Before I start something. Yeah. But in as much as you are not going to provide you everything, but you can also be self-employed. So I want to know from Mr. Sey, I want to know what they do, whether they have a project around, giving startup kits to people moving from that institution. That is my submission.
All right, thank you very much, Aruna Kamara. You do to inside the program. You listen to Classic EM Live with the reach with Classic Studio #1, Classic Live. Be part of the conversation. Send the comments, your contribution to the number of them 079 553990 or 034 034579903. The program now Classic EM Live. I do it. Ben Sen the director for SLOIC. Do to the program today. You don't listen with the Aruna don't talk. You mentioned some areas inside your presentation earlier. You look at the tuition fee where you say that free. Like if somebody want for enroll in SLOIC, because you mentioned against in a charitable and humanitarian organization, now like how much you buy from, what's now the qualifications and what's not the other things and way for go to.
In the first place, now I bring you to speed that we as skills developers, we are not interested in entry requirements. That makes us a humanitarian organization. I told you that as an organization, we cater for everyone. Other institutions will tell you, say, if somebody gets 10 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, or whatever. But we want to work on humanity so that the humanity will be better. And so if you look at our skills development centers, where they take person for that kind of skills, we not even go school one day. We have seen powerful electricians across the country who don't one day go school. Yeah. We have trained them. Yeah. We have seen lots of mechanics across the country where at the end of the day not ever go school, but because they go learn something and they go able to be people in our society, and that's our interest. Yeah? Timothy, I have told you that the premise is we any Sausa we did. Like interesting for let Aruna tell me say you are a product of OIC. If any side they will ever establish and ever function with OIC graduates nowadays, that's not a place. I can say this everywhere and everywhere. Yeah? Now, I come to the question where Aruna asked. We as an institution, they really look at how we go able to improve on humanity over time. But over the years, you will look at the attitude of people.
Okay.
We graduates, the one that will intend for new technical and vocational education. I must endorse here that giving 2 keys to people are the most expensive aspects of vocational training. And are also a gray area in our operations.
But it's very key, Mr. Sen. Very key.
Yeah? Now, a gray area in our operations because we are yet to combat that. We are yet to adequately handle it, looking at its expensive nature. For example, I train 3,000 people now, more than 3,000 people. Every donor you confront for say let it give 2 kids to them one a day, they shy away from that capital. Not even government, yeah, not going to give 2 kids to people one after the other. But then let us look at it. When OIC started formation over the years, OIC did give 2 kids to graduates. That was when donor did look at and say, let us empower people in that aspect. Quite many people when they go vocational school now, they go OIC for only the toolkit. And to the annoyance of donor, the day when they give the toolkit and the day that they call by Aden before they
But it was because of monitoring was lacking in that direction.
It was not about monitoring. You cannot monitor people when you don't get something, say, Aruna, this is yours. And then you go monitor and say, no, go sell it. They go sell it. We develop another mechanism quite well in donor. Like I have worked quite recently with the African Development Bank.
Okay.
And the Twitter Water project. I am rolling that project out as one of the key strategic trainers. You understand that? Now, we design another format, say, if we train young people, we need to give them group dynamic skills for them to be in groups. So that with the groups, they go able to empower themselves and they go able to work for communities. These are a template we have designed. It's working with Salwako. The Twitter Water project was aimed at domestic connections with total youth participation because of the human resource gap of Salwako. And so therefore I was contacted by the African Development Bank through Salwako to provide that human resource gap. And as you see, the youths are now in groups. Even the toolkits to be given to them, we are going to open a workshop for them where the youths will be meaningfully engaged in groups, groups of 5. With the groups of 5, we are making it a template and let's see how it works. 5 people cannot come together overnight and sell the whole capital given to them. 5 people cannot come together and say we are going to give up our skills. So we are trying this now as a new model. If you can ask me, that's a strategy that we have started.
So it's good that you have highlighted. But let me, Timothy, let me just come to just re-echo some of the things and critically analyze what you said on top. Well, you talk about this desired skills. Yeah, when you talk about desired skills. So this is clearly the territory. There are skills that vocational institutions that you are doing that you are not desired.
No, that's not.
Take for example.
That's not really the thing.
Okay, what is
when
it?
we talk about desired skills, like you and I went to university.
Okay.
Your discipline was different from mine.
Of course.
That does not mean the disciplines at Jala are useless.
Okay.
You had at least the opportunity to choose one.
Okay.
So when we talk about
desired skills, yeah,
we are talking about the human desire.
Okay.
You know, when you have an interest in something, you put your best in it to have it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in skills management, even when it is characterized with career counseling, it is also having a kind of baseline survey for us to have people coming to our centers with a desire to do a skill. If you ask Timothy, Timothy will tell you the skills he was desiring for at OIC.
Okay.
And so also every other person else will desire. All of the people coming to OIC will not be in one component. So we call it desiring skills. You have to desire for something. If we feel that within the confines of career counseling, that you feel you have health problems or health issues that will not really give you the capacity to handle it, they will advise you otherwise. But all those that do come to our centers come with the desire to have a skill. And that skill must at least come from the human being. Because what you put forward is what you put your best to have.
So if that's the case, let's look at now the components or the areas that you look at in your
When it comes to that question, we therefore look at the areas. If we listen to the program, Classic AM Live for the Rich Young, the Classic Studio, Servant did in the studio for give with messages them, send the comments, the contribution to the numbers 079 553 990 or 034 579903, or you follow with our Facebook page Classic Radio FM 99.7. We want to take with other story inside the program. We inside Bo Government Secondary School yesterday, one Kosa in apartment, bit of bomb. Well, what will lead to this fire accident? Nobody knows, but we colleagues Servant they get the story inside the program. Continue for send the comments, the contributions to the number them 034 579903 or 079.
He talks say the fire accident na a mystery to am.
Name Michael Kusia, I'm a vice principal now.
Bosco. But me to me na mystery. Because I don't level.
And a good servant but bad master. Inside both government secondary school, fair acts them be take place where distress things them. Michael Kosina, the vice principal of both government secondary school, in a victim of the fire accident. He talks say the fire accident na a mystery to him.
Name Michael Kosia, I'm the vice principal now. Bosco. But me to me na mystery. Because I don't left us this morning for count our place around 9:30. Just 9:45. Now I get call from Peking and say the house is on fire. Say the house is on fire. So by the time I rush there, but I 2 apartments. We did another end, then the other come to charge in another end. So the fire start from my neighbor OS. They jump to the house. By the time we go down now, the fire is too much. Try for go enter the house, try for get some things there. Very too much. Well, except the fire, because when we go down, the fire start from a neighbor house, Bori and neighbor. But of course, if you don't go to my boat school, you will see how the quarter of the day. We try for go up, drive on safe service or situation, but not able. The fire, the heat was too much. The picking was too much for us.
Michael Kosia say a building in workplace where in Piki them call him, but the fire within in apartments. And say they're not able to take nothing na do because the fire be too much. Michael Kosia say in lost beaucoup seen them.
Yeah, I began money there. I began other properties and this some materials and other people properties and I began them there. No, I never put nothing out. I never put nothing upstairs from the room. All the rooms I able to take nothing out. Now only downstairs we able to take other furniture there, the small things there. Go upstairs, everything burn. Everything.
You don't ever encounter that kind of situation in this compound?
Yeah, once. But that time we were able to come in quick and put out this fire. But this fire overwhelmed me.
So, what do you think go be the cause of this?
Well, I don't go on for now for talk about that anything, you know, except fire force and BKPS they come check out and see what they think. Whether electrical or other thing, I'm not able to tell.
So, una be able to get for reach the fire force for come and rescue now?
Oh yeah, they were very robust. They come quick. In 20 minutes time, the car, 2 of the van, they come try to put the fire off. At the end, they end up for put the fire off. But by then, it was late. Most of the things have been burn, they don't damage and destroy.
So, what could be your message to people that listen?
Well, always be careful in our houses. For the left, we get appliances, they don't put her off. You know, if you lock all the rooms and you know, make sure say put everything off where we know say go catch fire.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Francis Kutubuna in Wef and say a be dinner in front door they do some basic cleaning when in ye picking then they ala fire after where it go inside in house emit smoke na in room will not be able to pull nothing come out including money and property.
Francis Kutubukusia. Are they up now? We apartment here. Are they try for book close my one small good number feet. One small bubble na that hostel. Now the other apartment now I say auntie smoke. Now I talk say I say who say? Me say I dey can out wash. Then I can't do. I just meet up the no more. Now I talk say I say who say before I remember now I see the fire the blaze to the one they do. Now they call people that they go with work. I know where shoes are this no more. I said they go with work. Say the for don't go at the cry. Say other neighbor they can people then can they want staff car. He say right now not get fire force the number. So the security man in Canada he say don't call fire force. I say praise God. I say make them come. He say don't able see there still the fetch at the fire over there. And they me pick it tell me say mommy say more go up more go put them to them. But I see the fire they blaze electric cable then the cut. I say no go there. I say life important. I say no go there. One go. I say no go there with all the halapana. Say the fire transfer now na we in place. Inside the room you see the fire take to the roof.
Bukosia say susu money and other things them all burn to ashes. It call on sorry art organizations them for come to an aid.
We not able, because they not able for good people that they holler. Say before fire begin, they don't cut everything inside room, everything burn down to them picking the room, they then got picking the room, everything burn down. When I begin money there, so one they did all the money I can't tell. I forget money yesterday, but I'm not able to forget. Just the was I say where I go, I will call them, go meet up, put out the meet up, I give them 200,000. Then me picking same for me money, then me adopted kid. What I get, I say where I be don't take people the money, I have for 500,000, I'll go to 700,000. Now no more than money we maybe get. They will down umbrella money 40,000. I take umbrella to round. If I not give you chance for go inside, for go pool. No, we not be getting any plans there on because me work there. They picking the pass down for cook before they play film. Then I net safe. Everything be there off. The main switch service and me picking go up. Now they go hotter because fire be there by now. So everything they go off. But now may they help we because right now the form all out the don't more with bed, everything burn into ashes. You self that enter, you don't see. Say to the guy picking the bobo they reading, I look them and chance. They don't put her inside under. Some burn part, me document the everything burn. He said don't see the one way, see burn half side. Everything in the charge document, everything burned down.
People them be they make allegations say na the on and off light we at Sadigi. Na it go don't cause the problem. While others be they say the building then at the campus don't all them for rewire them. But up till now, what in really cause the fire na in people they worry about. For Classic AM Live, Mina Siavani the report.
Listen carefully to the issue we happen at the Bow School compound. We make two apartments that burn. We don't left them with no place to go.
Yeah, I go be limited in my analysis because we did still try to get onto Fire Force. For long, no, actually, we're responsible for the cause of the fire. However, with the kind of information we have to dispose of, rather unfortunate that such thing happened to the vice principal of the Bow School. A lot of properties, including money, be consumed by the inferno. Two apartments.
Yeah.
Probably the other apartments, something that happened there. Maybe they not put the and they just be. This is a hypothetical or assumption.
According to the picking them, light be there.
Okay.
And there be the watch film.
Okay.
So what will lead to?
Like that be the side
watch film.
to Mr. Kusa in party.
No,
to the other apartments.
Yes.
So when in as much as that the don't come out, maybe we will say maybe an electrical problem. But one thing I want to know, this both school quarters, it don't take long time. They're not rehabilitating it.
That's another aspect.
Another problem, And the government they don't come out with a statement that certain schools the way that my both school are one, we for do total rehabilitation of the schools. You understand? For make sure say even the quarters they look into them, make sure say they rehabilitate the quarters. But up to now, such thing not happen with. Now, I think this way really they need for address speedily because most of the houses are the quarters of the both school. Me self now the product of that school. I go to that school since I left there. Up to now, they need to rehabilitate the quarters. Let's take for example the one by Sober One. Those quarters, more or less, some of them are there trapped. Frankly speaking, and we want to see the government take a robust step for ensure say what if we don't make a try for speedily doing because if that will not happen, most of those electrical cables some of them don't wear out now. You understand? Yeah. And that would be a recipe for probably like what did that happen to the quarter of the vice principal. You understand? So really, the Fire Force, of course, will therefore get onto them by the end of the day. Lord, trying to from the investigation, what will be responsible for the cause of the fire. But from what we get is that there will be the watch film the part.
Exactly.
Maybe that electrical problem go down occur.
That's the people they say they say because the building are too old.
They don't old, you see.
Rewire them.
That is it. So it's good that and many people will go to the aid of the vice principal and the victims because it really disheartening.
Alright, I'm gonna continue for those inside the program. You're listening to Classic AM Live for the Rich Now with Classic Studio. Me will make the program with you. My name is Timothy Buseni, and with me in the program with studio guest na Ben Sey, in the director for SLOIC, Bo Edotui. So let me look at the components then or the skills they want to offer.
Yes, before the components, you will ask me a question. Like I just talk about few things.
Okay.
Where quite many people can ask, why is it like this? Quite many people can want to go OIC, but sometimes they ask, why OIC then they use uniform? Now because of the uniform make some man they go now the OIC because they feel say when they go there then they wear a uniform. Well, uniform stems off from the fact that, like I say, we are a humanitarian organization. And we side people and they with them boku. If you mix them together like one day or so, where you don't take them from various background, you allow everybody for like exhibiting wealth, discouragement will happen along the line. So we as an organization believe say, if you bring people in together from various background, for let you maintain them, for also improve on retention, you get for be at least a model where you go bring moderation inside them. So they allow people where they come for whiskey for let them all feel like one. for let them continue, for let them wear the uniform, so that they don't go discouraged. For example, you come with woman some side or you come with women together. One day we go overdress passing company.
Exactly.
It will take for provoke, not because we have women here, but it will take for provoke. And that way the woman will abandon his skill and himself he will go. And so we want for call off for that day or now make we see we say let them wear the uniform and let them do uniformity. So me I will encourage everybody that the uniform not mean anything, but for let we just at least bring a kind of uniformity and let we bring oneness among them and let them all feel like one. Now make we use the uniform for let we at least then our training environment.
So somebody go say, well, I know go day, mean a big person now, they try for do something. If you get they wear uniform, myself they wear uniform.
Well, the uniform definitely when you pick it wear different from the uniform way they wear. Otherwise, the nurse system for don't say me pick it wear uniform, instead not for wear uniform. The soldier therefore don't say me pick it wear uniform, instead not for wear uniform. The police them go say the same, prison officers go say the same thing, fire force go say the same thing. What you use does not determine who that you be, because at the end of the day, and you go detweet again what you be. But the uniform what you they use is different from the kindergarten picking. Mark you anybody will come on a city was 10. Somebody will don't go OIC, don't graduate from there, it don't come up. If you go government work, straight away na grade 6 today. You remember put it on the name. That means the person will don't get TC, diploma, and all the rest of the thing. Yeah, in the data the same cadre of development. So that person where they come out from nursery school where they wear uniform now, you are in, and this not to a professional course. How many productivity where you picking will bring to you if you come out a pass or go nursery 2 or nursery 1?
Director, you don't think say the uniform they limit population for camp to now?
We are not interested really in population. Okay. That's what we are not interested in. What we are interested in over the years, like we have trained and job placed well over 30,000 young people. You get me? That is our interest. How many people will come for the skill and how many people will get job? Not for how many people will shy away just because one population. Presently, the number of we get, the number will they contain with very largely. Because when you have population as skills development centers, the capital intensive nature of the skills will deprive a lot of people. So you're not going to adequately handle the kind of population where you get. So we are not interested more of people coming more like in that number like what you are talking for. Let them understand what's in the institutions.
Alright, now let me go to the question where I
now to the question.
Yeah, the skills them on
the skills them more they offer.
Yeah.
Now over the years, we skills them is being determined according to the terrain of existence. Skills that they will offer, for example, na matrujo you don't come to now. We get like boat making. That is specifically for boat. Yes. Because we believe say whatever they are, if you count boat making, people are not very interested in that.
So boat making they na matrujo.
Sure. We even have a boat on our own. You understand? Which is the OIC boat, because we also invest in transportation as a humanitarian gesture to the people of the district. Why would they do that? Because if they charge, for example, 10,000 for boats on site, we they charge 5,000 because we want to at least help the people. Right. The skills that we they provide, you ask me for humanitarian. In other countries or other places, they will charge you many dollars for that you pay for. But with a 500,000, of course, the person they pay. Out of this 500,000, the person they get uniform day, they get ID card day, then they use it again on the person. For let it get all the basis what you need for let it do the training program. So comparatively, that person, why we put that money for let people and pay, some people they know them be the kind of the OIC centers. If somebody don't put small money inside what they do, you don't go get interest in that. So we self look at over the years say, no, let us go they can let it do certain things them. So that when you said one as a young contribution, it go feel belong to it, you go pay something. So that they go entice them for make a at least put interest in.
But is it that you guys wanna increase every year? Because I remember the year where I entered SLYZ, I pay minimum.
Yes, will they increase every year because times also they go there with the situation. The time when you pay the money when you pay not going to buy uniform now. The time when you pay that money the Timothy not going to buy thread now. The time when you pay that money they not going to buy apron. The time when you pay that money they not going to buy and also produce ID card and also produce the other thing as the time they go. So therefore, as time they go, definitely will they match up with the time. The support, for example, if don't be they give me 2,000 in 2019-20 a team, you not go give me that same thing you want for make I do the same thing. You understand? So as they go along with the expenses, they go with the time.
Director, you don't think say the money because we take as charity organization and people get that name SLYC say now institution will be the offer free service to people then the money not go look so more burden to
the money not burden.
Now things are very difficult.
Well, the money not burden. President like how they look at her now. Now we don't close say we know the we presently know the take. But like we speak now, you understand? I am in partnership with the government of Sierra Leone. They have just brought this development fund capital. You understand? We are going to implement on behalf of government because what we do is to complement the efforts of government. So when they give us the money, definitely we will not ask anybody for it. You get me? But if we do not have, definitely we will have to because we need at least institutions are running costs to run the organization. Mark you, we like a break even we do. We not go at profit, but at the same time we not go left at least for the institution. So that's what we do. So in the break-even environment, you know they make profit, but at the same time, you go want let the institution continue for long. And in this situation, I don't sustain over the years.
All right, Haruna, you don't listen the director in his speech then. You get anything?
Yes, it's good that we don't get a clear-cut understanding as to the kind of skills they offer. And to me, I really happy in the area of boot making, more especially whether diversify, make them very, interesting to the public in the sense.
Again, for can give you more skills because
I can't give more skills.
Fine,
we just look at
I really want me land in the area of skills.
Alright, so
now. So when we talk about skills generally, we get plenty skills so they offer, like the OIC environment. One, we they offer like agriculture general. When we talk about agriculture general, we cut across all agriculture. We they go to mechanization, we they do all kind of you talked about livestock and all other things. I mean, we call agriculture general. You understand? We they offer agri survey. We they do survey, and one of the survey units and what we get, they don't produce marketing with people where they even contribute very seriously to surveying issues in this country. Right? We they do masonry. We masonry go even beyond the ordinary masonry where people in the land because it's detailed to an extent that somebody from there, you understand, will able to be a contractor and be able to supervise your own colleagues and also open your own business. What they do auto mechanic. The auto mechanic unit, they also provide the diversified skills. But we call it no more auto mechanic because I will make motor car, generator, or the other things, everything they inside that software. We also offer home management. The home management services, now other institutions they call it catering, but we they call it home management because it gets a whole lot of hospitality stuff inside. Where at the end of the day, the person when well packaged, they go able to serve industry, they go able to serve, they go there, now they will train them more than they present in a Kimbima, then are all terrain services, then they offer services for companies and whatever. So that's the kind of package we will give. We also did in strong collaboration as I speak. You understand? I mean, one of the lead institutions that will transform also young people for Sierra Leone. So because of this, Sierra Leone also is in partnership with OIC. For them, we train people when our young people will go take over employment issues in the company. Of course, the head, nobody know in a garage when ahead of the Sierra Leone, we're not a we trainer. So therefore, because of this, we have tremendous respect and we have created that employment opportunity as I speak, get training there for in that way they will do it. So apart from that, we do what they call electricity. With electricity package, they move across because we also do some, we don't begin PR up with some solar energy now, where because of the new emergence of solar energy or whatever. So we do that. They will go carpentry unit, where they also do a lot of fabrication, carpentry and all that.
You mentioned other masonry, we get other department, we get block lane, we get time, we get.
When we talk about masonry, like holistic stuff, block lane are just a kind of model
Subset.
masonry.
Yes.
You understand? Tiling are just a component inside masonry. You get me? All of these things are just like what you do, education.
Yeah.
When I see this man and education is, the kind of mobile and kind of package where I would not study before I become like, this kind educated person. So that one they will do. So all learning are elements of the machinery unit. Apart from that one, the components them way I don't list. All we centers them, they have computer laboratories because we move towards modern technology. We also encourage the learners then anyone with the train or graduate from the OIC will get a fair knowledge in computing. So because of this, we get at least a free service of computer lab everywhere we operate presently. We now a kind of package we deliver to the learner. We also deliver it to other outsiders. And again on a humanitarian platform. What are the humanitarian services? If the whole software package where people and they deliver, they will deliver for over, like they will charge you for over millions of euros. When they do that one, then OIC lesser than 250, 500,000. You will get time you go, then will engage you that day. You do your computer studies, they are very perfect. So these are the humanitarian ways they move the camp for just improve on society. That nobody is left and nobody is not, We get with tailoring units where they cater for young people as well. When are young women and they young men and they as well, who they cater for them and get their guys easily. So we'll talk about home management. You have a component of tie-dye, soap making, all of this batik making, all of this they under home management because it has to do with the home. Now many skills that they inside that one package. So that then skills that they now they offer across because every technician will believe say nobody no day will not go be at least part of that service who will they deliver. Because if you black book, you want fine host, pass will be like for you. Yeah.
All right.
If you want Wi-Fi close, pass still or swap for you.
All right.
Yeah,
Continue
that's
for
what
with
it
me. In the director for SLYC, Nimna Ben said, they will inside the program. You listen to Classic Game Live with the Rich Young with Classic Studio #1 Classic Live inside. But I wanna come out. You don't listen carefully what the director will say. You don't list the components the way that in the SLYC will offer.
Me, the only concern I've got now the component of computer.
But yeah.
IT, because now we are moving into IT, digital world, and now we are now in the digital world. I want to know how equipped is the SLYC in the area of electricity, because of course they offer electricity as a money, but power, because if you go to, for example, a bond, if they are they offer computer, how sustainable is the life there? For the computers, they go to still they go out there and learn, and for learn a lot of things, so that they go able to match up with the contemporary trends. Yeah, because this is very key. We don't see universities, they talk say they got computer, but most of you go there, they are not computer.
They're not useful.
They are not useful. You understand? They can pay, but they cannot have access to it. They just the name. They just put on and they what say. With computer studies, among the day, but when you go out there, frankly speaking, the presence is not in fact there. Now just mouth lip service, I go say. So my own concern really is the area of what computer, or technology, because this area they really need for strength in this area because this is very key. Because a lot of the world now they move in so people as classical people watch you live. It requires IT skills. You understand? Yeah. And once see these skills, when they really up them and when they write projects, actually it's a very skillful man area of project writing. So I want to see how SLYC will really move in the area of digital. You understand? And frankly speaking, because I began going for book with SLYC, that's the way the office be the free time. But it's good that they don't carry the provinces. You understand? And for ensure say, let us say many people make they come closer to the people. They're not going to do the free town there. You understand? Even if maybe Ben said so it was about University of Sierra Leone for college. Go IPAM or the brand here. But it's good. But however, what you mean they try for see here about the skills what they provide is that once what they talk about quality. Somebody they come on SLYC, they walk across. But look at the quality of the product of SLYC. Some of them, they are not useful, frankly speaking. So, look at...
Wait, what do you talk about? The service that they provide?
Yes, some of them, they come out, you understand? Some of them...
I want me to clarify this area. The service that they render to the people, not useful for the people, the way they come out of.
Some of the products. Yeah, I want to see where SLYC go in the area of because there are two ways. You can pass through the university or you can pass through SLYC can pass through you. Some people pass through SLYC doesn't pass through them. So I want to see here because most of the employers, you understand, the ground will say some SLYC staff they are not good to write home about.
But
So SLYC
to
tourists. So
even university level, many they come out where they are not up to the standard.
Well, let
so
me-
look,
so
make
that's why
the
it's
man
universal.
different.
No, I mean, you cannot be a devil's advocate.
Okay.
Let me just, Timothy, let me understand. Let me not just tell Aruna something. Aruna, you know, for let you train person and let the person not abandon his skill.
Okay.
I tell you, say, this time is skills development.
Okay.
For example, the company is not able to accommodate. Let us first have the problem this.
Okay.
The companies across the country not able to accommodate the product or the graduates of all, not to OIC no more the trade, other vocational institutions.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
But when it comes to competition, there is nowhere, like I'm just from Freetown, I went to ADAC to sign a contract, which is now Sunbrand, you understand, for my trainees who have just been absorbed into the program.
Okay.
When somebody come up for me college the can, I will train the teacher for like do series of other connections. And then will do nothing.
Okay.
Pastor will product and then hire again the services for both provide that service there. You dey get me? You go to Sokfin, you go to Siaruta, you go to any company where they operate. Now we know what they provide that service there and other technical institutions and complements. Yeah. Now, if somebody learns skill, that person is not supported by either a relative or a family or whatever. For let it be self-supportive individual. The institution say not get the capacity, government back not get the capacity. Where do you expect that person definitely for let it be?
But then make up a talk of startup kits. Startup kits.
It's not about a startup kit. It's not about this. Now, quite many people, and that brings to rebranding TVET in this country.
Okay.
Technical vocational education and training over the years have been looked at many, even parents, as a dumping ground or as something which is not useful.
Yeah.
For example, if me na a lawyer, me na a banker, me na a high status person, if you say they go OIC, I will begin a question what they go do. Not really knowing that if the person go there and skill they acquire and need for support that person. For buy for and the necessary tools we go help her for their work. If you don't help the person with the tools for their work, definitely that person will end up being an Okada rider. If they abandon the acquired skills. The institution not going to provide for an startup kit. The government of Sierra Leone not going to employ them, and other people not going to employ them. So what will happen? You go see that person back on the street riding Okada, and that's where you go say the person not useful. But it's still useful because the skills will learn abandon not going to abandon. But the acquired skills is still that person. I hope you get me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even with universities, somebody can graduate from university out now if you don't have a place. You will be on the street, you don't have job. So that doesn't mean because you are not absorbed, the person is not educated. No. We have got the opportunity to be in employment. But there are quite many people who have not got the opportunity to be in employment. But that don't mean they are not educated. No, they are educated, but they have not got the opportunity to have one. That's what that also contributes to people who have acquired skills, but do not have work to do. And so they abandon their skills.
Okay, let's go to the computer now. Talk about IT.
Now, the day you go to my centers and you do not see light, don't have respect for me. Like even where I am in
Of
Bo.
course, yeah, just tell me.
I am on 24 hours electricity. The only time we can put off light is
Across the country.
That's what I say.
Even at Matrujon.
I have in Matrujon a 30 kVA power plant.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is specifically for at least the use of the OIC centers. We have 27 kVA power plant in Makeni, and you cannot talk about Lungi. You understand? Every place that we have operated, we have provided power stations, independent power stations that will also boost the operations of our programs. So we are not. Yes, there will be like when you talk about either mechanical failures, like we are here, we have technical issues. There will be where circumstances could arise.
So is this second hand or brand new computers you have at your places?
My brother, those are donated items.
Okay, you can.
And when you talk about donated items,
Okay.
you cannot at least talk about new and so, but they are at least sandwich. You have tried. You have new.
Continue for those listen to the program or the view with the program that Classic came live with the region with Classic Studio, #1 Classic Live inside both. Be part of the conversation, send a comment, contribution or viewing our Facebook page, Classic Radio FM 99.7 in Bo, or send the conversation to the number through text message on the number 079-553-9990 or 034579903. We want to take the other story inside the program, and people them and disabled people they will be the live now. First then, National Electoral Commission will call agriculture. Well, people the place not be cleaned by Sierra Leone Road Safety Transport Corporation where they say that they get this place here. They don't put them disabled there and self. The people there in agriculture office will be daily. Well, we colleague Jamiru Kembi go file in this report for we inside the program. Continue for the following. Now we Facebook page Classic Radio FM 99.7 inside Bo, and as you have already prepare we text messages and for bring and come to now as they come inside the program.
The one them when they use the roads and for maintain the traffic laws them. ASP James T. Biner, now the Division Traffic Officer, Bo West, talk to Classic Radio about some of the operations where the traffic sector they undertake for the traffic business in the division.
We or the traffic sector, on one side this way they generate income for the government, which of course where offender they commit the offense, police they arrest and charge to court, wherein traffic offenses and minor offenses, which of course and offenses where they liable for pay a fine through the court level, we charge it to court. And I want to give a brief holistic information, even though from the predecessors, because from January to present date, if I look into the statistics for now, we don't charge over 286 cases that have been charged to court from that time to now. The government just come in at the office, but an ongoing process, even as business don't come, the past July to this August now, cases have been sent to court, Then by and large, within the framework we get road accident, of course, vehicle accidents, we get bike accidents. Then if I give the holistic point of view, cases reported from January to now, I get 18 deaths so far, and male na 10, female na 8. We get type of RT cases that will get the major cases, we get fatal, they will get slight and cases, they will get hit and run, all in factor and they, pertain the road and traffic accident. Then serious accident, of course, we get 6, we get slight accidents, of course, we get 7, then of course we get hit and run cases. When I 5, wherein this now one of the things that this woman said, are they against, because the life of the people and the communities and the whole township, whenever those motorbikes or vehicle, somebody hits pedestrians, there is no way the person gets a run, now we can call hit and run. But by and large, we the police, they work in partnership with the road safety corps. Sometimes if you hit the run along the highway, we get the prefix of number plates. There comes the investigation through road safety corps. That means we work in partnership. Yeah, but I did at the media for talk to with people and now at least let we abide to the law, like they say, because traffic offense a minor offense, except otherwise in terms of road accidents. But if you commit it, you're liable to be charged to court, even as I talk now. I don't mount a stings operation presently now on all unregistered motor vehicle, and as I talk, all of them are going to be charged to court. And for me regime now, I now get for tolerate any lawlessness, or you feel see abide to the law. You buy vehicle, buy motorbike, you hire for, you just deploy along there, you feel say nobody, they play the law. But nobody is above the law, as they say. Even me as a police officer, being the head of traffic, I have valid driving license, because I'm a driver, I'm a rider, I ride motorbike, I drive, We can no one, maybe tell me say you ought to know better. So that make I go all out, at least I pass through the process, the road transport, and able to get me valid driving license. So like I preach this message to the young people and now, where in the yarn in for become a driver, where in the yarn in for become a rider. At least not to overnight a good vehicle or bike they drive or ride overnight. Then the lives of the people there are still at the municipality of the whole township. So like but like we don't the rampage at least for monitor the whole township. As at the top, all about now they see me personally then at the streets, then they regulate the traffic, movement of people, movement of bike, even movement of even on the wheelbarrow pushers, so we block traffic for them because themselves they are part of the society, so now that, and now they deal with community policing, and community policing they preach them out. And me specifically give a preacher out that the traffic sector in Abu Township sometimes we need to be warned, but not always to be warned, So like basically, my brothers they interview me now, and some of the things is when I don't come in as the head of the traffic in the Bo West Division now, I really they enforce the law in the sense that I want all lives to be protected and secure on the highway. So basically, let me give you the statistics.
Alright, plenty thank you to my colleague Amara Pao for the package we put together inside the program as the traffic department gives statistics on traffic rates. Now the southern region, Bo to be specific, and we continue with the program. I think I'm gonna take note of the programs inside the discussion inside the program. We want for join Jamilu Kebi as yesterday Ebedena, former first time National Electoral Commission we call agriculture where people that would be they don't put them come out today. Well, Jamilu Kebi began for the go talk to some of the people that they disable themselves the people them way they be did.
People and save other people then we be the live now first and National Electoral Commission office don't left because them say the place na Sierra Leone Road Transport Corporation get it. According to the district bailiff officer Dauda Bangura talk say them be don't serve them people here 4 days injectment notice where they not be turn up where be make the summon then at the magistrate court number 1 by my road. For make we know more, the district bailiff officer Dauda Bangura go explain more.
We talk to Dauda Bangura, the district bailiff. Well, we come here so on execution basically. We don't can serve them people also for courts. When SLRTC take action against entities already, and we take action against them. We can't serve them. We serve them the 4 days injection, the personal notice and serve them. We serve them 4 days, then we serve them the summon, or let them go court. So they don't go court. And based upon the court order, now we can operate with NIASU. Well, according to the order for now, we don't get SLRTC because now they take action against the unity within NIASU under the Ministry of Agriculture. They we call them get boundary. We don't come inform them because, mind you, the building not call for them, but now inside the building, the compound not even build. So we can't explain to them, say, courts don't give order. This whole place here, so they're supposed to left. So they may give time, say, well, we'll get until this end of the month. But the one that the plaintiff to this matter, they say they need them property. I will not be getting another alternative for local. Well, since March, because they get judgments the 24th of March 2029, they get judgments. Magistrate cost number 1. That's what I said. Well, I should say that that's not beyond responsibility. Let them supposed to take that kind of decision there. Because I should say that one of the method and the within CSB one use will make them over courts because now that's one of the man tell me say anything and channel them to the Ministry of Agriculture. But the issue here, not to the Ministry of Agriculture now just the entity the way they did. So when we serve them, then they give out to the Ministry of Agriculture. We say no. Now owner will bring come as personal. So anything now owner for go court, if now the challenge now we go challenge, but we'll not call it Minister of Agriculture. No, well the police are coverage. Not to well if they don't refuse to come out now, only this decision here will get so now go make pull them from court.
Nabil Castle, the regional coordinator, National Federation for Farmers, and chairman for the old Rere building, where the Ministry of Agriculture occupied for more than 10 years, talk say the Ministry of Agriculture be don't get the notice waiting before them. In talk say plenty things then be lost where them be the pull comot then things then a do.
Mina Nabil Kasso, Amina the regional coordinator for National Federation of Farmers. At the same time, Amina the chairman for this whole building where Ministry of Agriculture occupy. It's unprofessional because one reason they before them call the ministry heads and make them sit down and negotiate or discuss over the matter before they for take this type of. We not inform no other person rather than the Ministry of Agriculture because the whole people there about 12 local NGOs where they are then a service provider directly to the Ministry of Agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture when they become the notice, we take the notice and can go to director GAO where they are about district. That are the district agriculture officer. We can go to them for making able to fast track the matter. Then back take a further at the head office in Africa. So they where them can go there, but about 1 or 2 months now we that matter be out. So all of a sudden yesterday I began at the office where they come with me and discuss that with me. So they even called the letter to me. They are taken back and say no. Me not go do any other service now until I take a account with the director. Me na a civil servant man at the same time. I not go to take any decision without the order from the ministry. A lot of things get for missing because not a we puller. They not give you the audacity for what anything. They just pull everything out.
Where be they talk to Classic Radio, Studi Komba in a disabled person, where be they live in a first National Electoral Commission office, where then they call agriculture. Talk say police informed them on Monday for left the place, where he say the time be short for them as they not get place for lay aid.
Me na Studi person with disability polio at the work na dream. Well, this morning tell me call Okika early morning for can open the office. I can meet police then team up. Now I come na the place blacksmith office. I don't can there, but I can meet then carry some warrior boys there. They don't pull with brothers the materials them. Majority of the materials then they don't pull they some they lost. We not meet the materials then at the place they lost. I try for make I talk to one of the police. The police direct me to one man, Mr. Bangura. I go talk to her. I call me boss from Moamba. He talk to the man. Then he advise me, say la tell me company. Then none of them not touch the things the way they don't spoil. So yeah, na agriculture then give me this place here. The director, we brothers they go they make cutlass, agriculture Tuesday. Let me say na Monday the police they can't give notice. They say na from magistrates we for left this place here Wednesday. We go meet the director, we get this place, we give it the place and we boss, we call her, we explain, tell her, he go meet the director. The director here na talk. Tell her we wait, he go come on to we back.
Munda Boise na blacksmith, he self talk say they not ever tell them for left the place.
My name Munda Boise. Me na blacksmith. Now they make them collapse them for agricultural tool for them farmer there. No court order don't tell you that day. Now day for yesterday we left Sidona. The police then come. They say we for left here. Now ask them for what you will come on here. They say not to we get here. Now we back we not sit down. The people that would be give here, Mr. Bindi in time. Now be give here. Say look can be bafana for look would make them to them for farmer. Then they collapse then who pick out bokuchin and then we they not tell you that do. None of them can I say for can't for say now they get a level left here. One make government intervene can see how they don't destroy property there.
Memuna tomorrow herself na a dresser where instead say may government help for get place as life with them not easy.
Memuna tomorrow yeah. Me na hairdressing. Well, this morning yeah from Monday, then police they can't tell we say low let this place. They say Wednesday they for camp winner. Me say this morning I just can't no more. I don't come here the thing they all day na do. So they don't send me back na street. We don't get no side for go again. So now this don't our government intervene. If in other side they give we law, they go for now we don't get no side for go.
However, the disabled people them say make government look into the issues as life really difficult with them. For Classic AM Live, me na Jamiru Kebi the Yip.
Alright, many thanks to Jamiru Kebi for the report we is sent inside the program today. You're listening to the program Classic AM Live with the Rich You Now with Classic Studio. I want to camera. Let me look at the disabled people the way the SLRTC who comments now the first National Electoral Commission. What do you make up of this?
I really sympathize with them because they are actually helping the nation in the area of producing agricultural implements. Talk about cutlass, they make and then they be there. And apart from that, some of the people involved in tailoring. You understand it? But now they look at and say, being that they have been evicted from the place, they are more or less quarters. For now, they not get place for day. And well, CLA Road Transport Corporation, the claims that they get a place. Of course, there has been a court order. You know, anything cordon pass valid and you need for still to go back.
Yeah.
But you know, should I say communication gap was the main problem. Why make I say communication gap was the main problem? According to some of them, the day before yesterday they informed them. Others they say now 1 week they informed them.
But you
what
you
you
listen
need
to the belief officer as well say that we don't get the injection notice.
Now the belief well, now the belief now the council. Believe me, don't say they don't give the ejectment notice long time ago. Yeah. But then now they see they were not informed. Yeah. But that is always the case. However, it's like the government really need for coming. Even though some of the claims say like the ban from the National Federation of Farmers, they say stakeholders were not involved, you know, in this process. But what you mean they try for say is that that bidding, Oma Bidon say now, some people that have ever fitted in our culture, I get it. Being that now it don't come to the light saying that the Sierra Road Transport Corporation and I get it, and there has been a court order that now they for occupied the place. To me, really, may they look for place for we brothers and sisters who are disabled, those in special needs. You know, may they come and provide place for them. And then the more me they see because the situation is very, very pathetic. I don't know if Ben Seba go add one thing to that because they do skill training. They bargain try for empower themselves.
Well, not truly on that basis they will come on,
okay.
On the basis of being kind of person where they work for humanity.
Material gap, yeah.
And in as much as we talk about humanity, we always look at how we all go able to live within the respectable means of society. And if your brother vulnerable, you need for like support and in one way or the other. Yes, I will imagine say most times SLRTC or SLRSA they get place already in this store where we know say that they're very big place.
That transport corporation.
That transport corporation. They get me. And then so if them people they don't occupy me to me, it has been a home for them. Yeah. And we not get any place outside disabled they did at the community now the side there now. They would have at least given that place to them and find another environment for other things there. Because then people they don't abandon the place and people don't get used to the place over time. But that is everything they boil down to what really they get for doing at the place, waiting at the intention. Sometimes they can get the people that say they're not doing nothing.
Exactly. But it's not going to be a wait and see situation. Let's see what's going to.
And so if they're not doing nothing, then that means they just drop the day and make the credit.
Yeah.
Alright, so make I ask you, since you don't be the director for SLOS, look at some of your successes we don't make up.
You know, when you take over. You force me for me to talk about myself, and you know, where it can be very difficult for me. You talk about yourself, but you go try a little bit. You know, I took over SLOIC as National Executive Director, having served in other cadres before, you know, the position in 2015, and in 2015, by then, you know, everybody will look at the OIC at that landscape. Where you have the OIC, like some people get this, you know, mentality that if I come to the OIC, what can I be next? What am I able to do again for make us survive and what have you? The morale at that time for those who have lived within the OIC was a little bit something where they drop because of administrative gaps and what we done today because my predecessor was like ill and you know we will move and so quite many people were coming in. But when we come in, we try to give the kind of energy to the program again. For begin look at and say, yes, young people need to have a space, and young people need to be connected more actively. And if there is an organization that has gone so well for let them, you know, really get a place, then we say for move on for let create the make the environment for them. As you see now, we have done we are on massive rehabilitation. Like if you go down at the OIC board, it's not only OIC board, but let us try for create a conducive atmosphere first for we learners there, so that themselves will feel attractive. That when you know everybody wants to associate with good things, yeah. And so we began this issue of learners gap. Also, we get the opportunity for them with training. They see quite many people not they show up because of the kind of environment and because of the kind of You know, we started so much for that we create the media space, for that we rebrand TVET to the people themselves where they are the community, and also the learners where they show up for the TVET itself. And I feel say that they go a long way for them, they entice people there now. Now we they tell people and say, one of the success stories where I go say now that we have increased on enrollment. Yeah, enrollment of our learners to our training, graduation, and also employment rates. When you look at job placement, like a whole entity of itself in skills development, over the years, we go still say we get some problems with issue of employment because we don't get the spaces adequate. But what we have done over time, now that we have connected the institutions to various partners. Presently, you know, the skills we provide, we dey work with local artisans. Without our local artisans, you go see say the man open in garage, you know, sabi book. But these are hands-on deck skills what you dey provide. That man not sabi book, but sabi skills. You dey partner with that person for them to provide the adequate training for your learners, and also come out for be a fine product. Even throughout Corona, what we do now for them we ensure so we identify potential places who side them go able learn with skilled people so that they go there across the country and go very useful. And that partnership over the years does create a lot of job employment. We are connected with almost all the companies across the country where they call me when they need human resource gap for filling gaps. So that are very big success stories. You understand? We have connected ourselves with key stakeholders. If God being our helper, by the time we go by October to November, we will also be part of the World Bank project, when are one of the connection framework Renande, because they have done due diligence on the institution for say we get the capacity. So you now see say we go for them and we able get that. That's one big success. We try for improve on the human resource. Over the time you see say we get people where sometimes somebody come on OIC come back, they can't teach them, then the person not go get the capacity for improve on himself. We get a whole budget line framework where they capacitate with teachers. Yeah, for let them connect themselves to the NCTBA programs. One of the other success stories is that we have got the accreditation. That OIC not the only limit itself now to the OIC general operations, but somebody can do the national diploma programs in our OIC, the national technical certificate programs in diversified skills. That's a very big success. Over the years, quite many people they run from here. Then they go Bo, then they go Kenema. Some they run, they don't get space at Freetown. Some they run to other places they are not convenient with. But now you can at least stay in Bo, and with the OIC, you have at least the technical education that you want. That's a very big success for people. You can go to McKinney, and that is doing very well. You understand?
All right.
With international donor connections have been increased over the years.
All right.
The OIC not only get national staff, but we have international staff working for the OIC.
All right.
That makes the beauty very much because of the international.
All right. Continue for do with we director in Bense in the director of the SLOIC. Do with me inside the studio today. We want for take we question corner and we entertainment. After that, we will join Vandy for bring with some of the messages, and we join with Facebook message for bring with messages. Then that will take we question corner inside the program this morning.
Good morning. I dey ask this question to all Mr. Alone people there. Why make we sabi with councillor there or honorable there during the election time? But when the election done, we need to sabi there again. Sometimes the day where they go for go VTs there, you need to see there. Because some project there, he come the councillor the honorable there, they can disappear. For see that when I work na the community there. Some people there na the community there. They don't even sabi the councillor and the honorable there. So now the question that they want to ask. What team during the election they sabi there, but after election they need to sabi there again.
Morning. That was Salon brother there. What they can work on another Lebanese there, especially in another rest shop there. What they can work on another Lebanese there. So on Lebanese they use that bad language here to that was Salon brother there, just because they under there, they work for them. So I want to ask the government if everything it all put in place for that day, because when they see that Lebanese there, they use that bad language to that was Salon brother there, will not keep you fine. As for me, what did they cost me on Salon brother there? Who say me they see that they cost me on Salon brother there, and then if you fine, yes, and then if you fine, what did it cost me on Salon brother? So now dandy. So government, everything it all put in place for stop dandy, for advise that Lebanese, for they not go to use that bad language to that was Salon brother there. What did they work under there?
This is Session Family Music.
See, can't call me the bad man trending high. Master Ted.
They call me Easy One.
Another one.
It must take on the beat.
Feel this song. Back to back, I dey give that song. Everywhere, she feel this song. Every time you feel this song, I say sorry,
Hello and welcome to Classic Entertainment News on radio and online TV on 99.7 FM Bo with me, Suhaibu Jokalon Maximum, one of Bo's favorite producer of the Strong Vibes record label, as well one of Bo's outstanding musician, popularly known as Master Tech. Now one pan the musician them inside Bo, where be done they do very well for say Bo music grow to another level. Master Tech be done they do plenty hit songs them, and Seth been done they produce songs them we don't break through and hit the market. Master Tech now been the first engineer we introduced a system of playing as well producing hit songs of legendary musicians we it titled Saxophone Cover. Months back, this superstar Master Tech been released in single hits we it titled Fine Like That. Just get a tip of the song where Master Tech been released months back entitled Fine Like That.
Nice to take on the beat.
Oh my God, it's Strong Vibes beat.
Master, I no go die for your matter. The way you do your boogie down on me, on your matter. Girl, how you find like this, yo? Yeah, let me how you find like this, yo.
Few weeks after the release of this song, Fine Like That, Master Tech been involved in a fire accident where been make for a while. It been silent and they undergo treatment. According to recent conversation between Master Tech and Classic Entertainment News, Master Tech want for tell the general public say in health done better, and it go first of all tell Papa God thank you for in speedy recovery from the fire accident where it been involved pan. As well, one tell the general public thank you where then show concern and all the one them we sympathize with them, especially the Bo Artist Union. Few days ago now, Master Tech don't pull flyer and one for tell music lovers, especially in fansem, say it go release a brand new song where it titled The Return of Master Tech _ If Not To Be Your Blessing Papa. So watch out for Master Tech and a brand new song.
Come closer, I want something all day, I want something all day. Girl, I'm in a love my word, child. Love you this song, I child. Me love you, no give me bow, child. I sing on this and knock him out, child. Girl, I love you, know it do it like. Girl, I love you, know the lie, child. Me you find this making it knock out, young out,
Continue for listening to Classic Radio and keep viewing we now we online TV on Classic Radio 99.7 FM Bo. For more info and updates, always visit we Facebook page Classic Radio 99.7 FM Bo. For Classic Entertainment News, Suhaibu Jokalon Maximum the reports.
I no go die for your matter.
Alright, many thanks to we colleague Suhaibu Jokalon for the entertainment news we put together inside the program today. I want to quick one in 1 minute time. You respond to the question inside the program. One, the man say, what think could be the response of the Lebanese them way that we Salon brother they can sell on that the way they can use them abusive language on them.
Of course, this complaint belong come and it's good that it's being echoed by our brothers and sisters. Maybe they are victims or by being affecting one way or the other. This is something really we labor need for look into seriously, because this falls also under the labor ministry, because some of them are being employed and the way how they treat them, well, it's a two-way. You understand? In as much as they also go grumble, but the Lebanese are equally the same. Maybe brothers, want to take the job serious. So it's a two-way. But what the more they say is that the male give them the best treatment, because anybody will work under, you need for encouragement so that you will get the best out of her. In the area of the councillors or MPs, this is always the case. They will come to you, they'll talk to you, fine, for me, vote for them. But the way they don't grab that power, they don't go. For me, you see the back is a problem. But it's good that such things they come out and all our councillors, the MPs, so that they really do many disease for them.
Alright. Let me join Siavandi for bringing some more for you. Text messages away with listeners that always send me. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Timothy, and thank you very much. The first set of text messages, Dr. Ben Say has changed the narratives of SLOIC to be one of the most reliable TVET institutions. When you talk about youth employment and empowerment, from Davidson Smith, Freetown. Vocational institution is really key. SLOIC really is doing good for us Unions from an unknown sector. For the past years, where SLIC is in existence, SLIC don't really help with brothers and sisters then. We not get requirements or we not go school for Musa of New York. Mr. Auna, not everybody will die and go to hell. Others must go to heaven. So, it is not everybody that will go to SLOIC and learn skills. Others must leave without knowing anything from Hassan. Both government schools are really old. The school building is over 100 years now. So now that's make I think say the host the cage fire from an unknown texter. My sympathy, Mr. Kosia, manner make it man. I can always say, please, now for all acts, may God provide for you money for make you recover your lost properties them back from an unknown texter. I the feeling for Mr. Kosia in Web, but really, the fire accidents are really a mystery. You don't let appliances them on. How lights go catch fire now? Investigation must go on, please, fire force. It really disheartening for make these heartless people for their person let fall and for make you destroy person in poverty because of motor in place. It not sound good at all for make salon organization to get people them come out just because of heartlessness. I really the feel am for disabled people there. We don't pull them come out na that place. Make Papa government here and cry and provide for them a better place for make them live. This message I will get so far.
Alright, many thanks to Siavandi for bringing in with text messages and way we listen as a door hide inside the program. Yes, Director, you don't listen to some of the messages and what could be your respond?
Well, we not get critical issues and they say, he who much is given, much is expected.
Exactly.
That is what I really they look at that the other say that start as you wish to continue and continue as you wish to end. So if we have started so well, we will continue for go on and see that we try for do the best for the people. Amidst all the challenges, it's a responsibility for us to contribute in our only way for the development of the nation. So where we have found ourselves in youth advocates, in advocating for the lives of youth, and also empowering them so that they will be useful citizens, I think saying that I know we will do so that we will at least kind of minimize the spread of violence across the country, and so that youth self will be more transformed and they will contribute to the socio-economic development of this nation.
Alright, thank you very much. We want to join our Facebook page and bring over messages and what we viewers and the send inside the program. This one come up from Fantasy say, good morning Classic Radio and the people of both city. Kudos to SLOIC for the hard work as Boku people then don't begin change the mindset concerning the place as Boku people now they go learn skills for add to the CV, so at the end of the day they go use them skills them for survive if office hook not available. This one coming from Fantasy. Another one from Zana Bangura is say EDS say the distribution of current not professional. They say at all as now them responsible for most of them the born hosts where they happened. They come from Zana Bangura. Another one come from Davidson Smith. He said Director Ben said has changed the narratives of SLOIC to be one of the most reliable TVET institutions across the country when we talk about youth empowerment and employment. Kudos to you, Mr. Director, from Davidson Smith Freetown. Another one say Classic, the leading media, kudos. Another one coming from Mohammed Chalo, he say Classic AM in the morning, thank for the update we una the give always. This one coming from David Singh Gani, he say may take on most of the bonos then now due to the poor electrifying and also most of the building wiring kidon old and arata kidon cham the cables them so as them be as soon as be problem for way people they could cause. I say medical they rewire the other after every 10 years. Festus Lahai say I think say SLOIC forget college status because they don't do well and government really need for help them and get encourage Boku people them for acquire skills because Boku people get different perception about SLOIC. This one coming from Festus Lahai. Desmond Ghana say, wow, you guys are really doing great job. A lot of thanks to Classic Radio for trying to change the face of media landscape in the region. This one coming from Abubakar Jalo is say, so waiting at the procedure and criteria for get admission na SLOIC for mechanical engineering. William Festus say good morning to Classic AM listeners and viewers from both city and those watching from around the world. Abdul Edward Samu say thanks to the director to show us the benefit of skills training and different components of SLOIC training. I think these are some of the messages that we'll get inside the program. We viewers that they send the concerns inside the program. Ben say few messages that come for you, what will be your response? One say low una try get with university college status.
Well, we really know the young for the university, not a college.
Okay.
It go interesting for let you know. I tell you say we get skills development centers. We not a program but we get skills development centers. Yeah. And then skills development centers and they cater for the marginalized people. Then we at the end of the day society we say they're not going to make and then we don't make over the years for let there be people. They get me. When you talk about colleges, you talk about universities, they get a whole lot of things them way they happen there. For example, they brought in the polytechnics. Those ones were to complement government's effort for letting them get technical education. Now today they are the bookish environment ever we go think about. We no want go again to that bookish time.
Okay.
Waiting the president and other people there, they try for imagine for let this country have now an industrialized environment. Like we are here, not about Kubuku they speak right now. We are in a technological environment. You get me? When you talk about Facebook, they talk this woman they talk about text, the phone they use, and this talk they talk so they educate people. Not about Kubuku need that this country have for let this country have go before. Now let we get no more people we get the mindset that anybody can acquire a skill and that skills they go impact society. One wants to get and in this country how they go from outside they go. So we know they go for university, we know they go for polytechnic, we they go in for people we want for land skills. Somebody asked a question for mechanical engineering. And they use very big word. We get mechanical engineering way like na metalworks. Where people then they use their fabrication that way they see so and then garage design. Because that's my discipline I study from CNG, City and Guys of London Institute. Yeah. When you become a mechanical engineer, not to everybody will even hire your services. Yeah, a very big thing no more. You get me. But watching them normal what people that they do right now, not to that big engineer what people that they look up to. Now, person where they make a window, they go fix her. Yeah, the small guys on the street, they are making money than that big name what the man they call. But however, we get provision for that day as well.
Okay.
We will follow the NCTVA syllabus. When somebody want for seat diploma, a one for seat national technical certificate, follow the national technical certificate programs in the NCTVA, we will also provide the tutorial services for that person. And we are one of the centers there for that in this part of the country. If you go McKinney, now we provide the host again.
Okay.
So somebody can read mechanical engineering at our level. You understand? Okay. When you go masonry, the big word for it is civil engineering. Yeah. So these are all big names, but the actual work on ground, You go have a mechanical engineer or get electrical engineer like we have now. What happened in somebody? Somebody from Phobia, I don't want to name institutions, but I'm just tempted to do that. Somebody go come up Phobia College, you tell and say, "Can wire host?" You know sabi wire, but you go speak all the English way you go sabi. Like this word there for this that. You tell her now say, "But I light our what?" You dey get me? We are not speaking jargons. You want light to give you light.
So you guys are dealing with the action.
Yeah, you understand? Yes, you understand? You want light to give you light. I want it to give you food. I want clothes to give clothes for well. I want babe to give you babe. Not so English again we dey speak. We are not describing anymore. That's how we have lived over the years. We have described a lot. So we are not describing anymore, but we are giving the reality to the people. You understand? Eh? Like the place we are now. All the places are not to Bukuma make play. This beauty, lady enjoy so. The chair they hold sit down pa. Bukuma go describe am. But the technological aspect is bring chair for me now. The man will begin tambo. But we are providing the space. You want chair, Timothy, we'll give you chair.
Alright.
You want light, we'll give you light.
Alright, continue.
You want window, we'll give you window. That's
Right.
what we do now. Yeah.
In name that Ben said, in the director for SLOIC, don't you say the program. One for Joanne D. Bruni, Edwige Lamy for give sports updates inside the program.
Hello and welcome to Classic KM Sports with me, Edwin J. Lamin. Inside the local story today, the CEO of Eastern Tigers, Victor Luis, be talked to with company sport journalist Benson Bawo concerning player transfer saga and system inside Salon football.
Bad games can play, the players can get problem, the teams can get problem, the way they buy, the way they release, all one can get problem within it. And sometimes they for longer come to an amicable solution. You looking for go to SLFA. Then so SLF not go for solving a problem, or not go for come back again.
Not talking at table for body business. So these are all very huge problems. By your estimation, is it down to education in terms of all players involved, the players themselves, the administrators, the arbitrators, or is it down to policy?
Two things, yeah. Education also not one thing about it because the players are not well educated and tell them they go to a contract to somebody else. So man they sign contract, just gonna team go play and all the rest of it. And we don't push them to be a work, we make sure say every player is in gets the contract. And for we get one policy where we know the you. If you say you want to go, once the price is right, 2 o'clock morning I can call me office, I can write transfer. But there you go. You understand? Yes. Because I believe say you know nobody will go on forever. It's not possible. You understand? You need to move on or move on the right way. And also the policy. The policy in a sense that the law is there at the FA. But how do they enforce them for it really work? That's not the problem. Because some clubs are not even adhere to waiting any kind of will take like. Yeah, the policy, because the FA also they will make sure say the rules they will set that the FA, you understand, clubs they abide and follow by, understand?
So basically the enforcement part from the part of the FA is questionable.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
you think so that they stop the game?
Because well, sometimes I can blame and not keep blaming too much because they say one for the gameplay. Because if you talk say you want all the clubs in this country for make sure you don't get contracted and bring account to force before any league start to go no play against this country.
Yeah.
IBK, now the head of media, now the Sierra Leone Football Association (SLFA), they also explain the operating standard when it comes to player transfer currently. Now the FA
system is there. Obviously, ideally, now the standard of FIFA now supposed to work with.
Yeah.
We're not get right for deviate at all because which you starts now.
And you have to continue.
Exactly. Now you have to go on to international level and all of that. We have what is referred to as the transfer management system, TM system. You know, I go agree if you say the enforcement part, you know, from the part of the FA, it kind of no daily. I mean, I go agree small bit, but then this is because you know there has been a lot of problems around football first of all generally in the country. When you look at the executive, this present executive, the time really where they don't get, you know, the stable time where they don't really get to administer the game, you don't really reach 2 years complete. Because when you take into consideration the Ebola, you take into consideration the 2 set-asides, the FIFA suspension. Each of them, one in the what they call so, last close to a year.
Take him serious.
You understand? So, like you really get a steady mind. We have a whole system that is meant for that. That is meant to manage, you understand, the transfer of players from one team to the other. But then I think most people, they take advantage of that particular situation there also. Because I can tell you for sure that most football administrators, especially the club owners, they know what team for do. But then they take advantage of the situation, say, this thing is...
The situation, the system is loose.
Exactly. So and then you mentioned education, Jishno. The players also. If you're not knowledgeable in terms of what you for do when it comes to signing a contract and things like that, some team managers or club owners, they use life card for claiming a player, for example, which is wrong. Not only a contract now able for define, you understand, the position of a player with regards ownership, whether or not this club is there or not that club is there.
Now inside the international segment, RB Leipzig get a 2-1 victory over Atletico Madrid as Tyler Adams scored a sensational goal in the dying minutes for qualify the German side in the Champions League semi-final, which are going to face Paris Saint-Germain on next week Tuesday. Inside the Champions League fixture today, Barcelona go face Bayern Munich, and the winner between them two go face the winner between Manchester City and Lyon tomorrow. Now all those who got for inside the sport news, and for Classic AM Live, Mina Edwin J. Lamin, better known as the...
Alright, many thanks to Dave Ronin for the sporting updates inside the program this morning. You listen to Classic AM Live for the Reach On with Classic Studio #1 Classic Live, and with the hope for join with UK analyst and with USA analyst Festus Williams and Salas inside the program this morning. Continue for day 2 inside the program, not go no side, as they get to live now with Classic Studio #1 Classic Live in Bo City. Be part of the conversation. Send the comments, your contribution to number 079553990 or 034579903. The program na Classic AM Live. Live, and we on the line we do with Festus William UK, and we UK analyst. Good morning, welcome to the program, Festus.
Yes, Timothy. Thanks for having me this morning. Morning, Sarona.
Morning.
And good morning to the director.
Good morning.
Salas, good morning, welcome to the program.
Yes, good morning and good morning to listeners.
Alright.
Morning, Salas.
Alright. So we got issues them where we look at one, we look at the Ostway Bond both school, and other one the people them way within a former first National Electoral Commission where they put them common at the place. And so what's now I take first loss?
Right. The issue of I think the one go on to the one that were the eviction of people with special need. I think is it's a grave and serious mistakes and a serious concern. Sending citizen, will forbid it for who said. These are individuals that unfortunately have been in the situation that they didn't bring upon themselves. So if anything the society could do, the least we could do is at least try and help them to have a roof over their head. Now, saying that, and then they criticize the one that would get the property, we didn't say they want them property back. But I think million on this is at least the eviction should have been done in a different way. Within the one that would get the property for do they will try on behalf of those people with special needs, they will try for alternatives for them, either through other stakeholders, like you have the city council, whose land will the city council get, for example, state land, would they be able to give them temporarily, to at least they have a place where they can call their home, where they can still have a roof over their head. And I think that on its own is a big challenge for we. We have to look at this individual and bring them sickness upon themselves, or it's just an act of God. So if it's an act of God, we know very well that when you're able to do something, you don't wait for anybody, you do your best in that area. That will happen exactly. But these are people, for one reason or the other, as a social stigma, people like you and me might not want to welcome them in our home, would feel that they're kind of a burden. So if they get an entrance place today, at least the owners of the land, they would done on the behalf of them there, go find a way for them, find an alternative for them. Before they where do you want them to go now? You're going to end up in the street. And this people is specialty. And I think that's the mega difference that we're saying. There's no word to describe. I think somebody needs to help somewhere. City council should get involved now. See how the temporary accommodation for the people there. Yeah. If not land, when a state land, not blush them, not create them for them. But it's not materials that for people to put up the shop. If not then tarpaulin themselves something, that's compounding it as well. So and I think if there's a way where the one that will get it land, maybe hold on for now. Maybe even though they got the court order, yes, they got the court order, the police can do whatever they want to do to exercise that court order. But make them be passionate. I think that's the key word. They should try to be compassionate on this and help them people they are. They're able to find them. Temporary alternative.
All right, Salas, I believe so. You don't follow up the program. We deal with the director on the program. We don't look at the SLOIC, the impact of building minimum power in the country. What will be your take on that?
Yeah, see, before I go to the director of OIC, I just want to remote a little bit on what Festus Williams don't talk about the disabled. It's really unfortunate as Aldon Tiam and also Festus Williams don't also say the same thing. But we have to look at it in maybe 2-3 different ways. The owners of the building, that's their property, and if they need the property, then one time they're supposed to get their property. Maybe they get a use for the property. In as much as the unfortunate, the situation is supposed to go how it goes. Then at the property, they need that. That's the one aspect. Secondly, the court. And when a court and the court give the ruling saying at the property, they're supposed to get them, which are the right thing the court do. The third side of the story, government gets a responsibility. I'm not too sure whether the council is responsible for that or the ministry the Ministry of Social Welfare. But we get aside now the government, now their responsibility. Okay, then people they don't live now, not to them, and the one that we get them property, want them property. So now whatever side of the government is responsible for take care of them people and the question to pay. Therefore, don't find a land or they find somewhere when they go house them people and whether not tarpaulin or whatsoever they make, but let them live there. But we're not going to say because now people of disability, they for occupy people them property, when a private property and private people they need them property. So now the responsibility of the government for making sure they house them people and they will let the government. We put them people in a power for let them take care of we. And if they will take care of we, the people, them people, they disable them one part of we. They're supposed to take care of them and the government responsibility to make sure they house them people in there. So I blame the people and we get them private property but a little bit because they don't be sympathetic because the people of disability they because of the condition. But at the same time, then they need the property. We don't know what they need that for. On a property, on a government responsibility to make sure she can take care of them and disabled people in there. Now we go to the direct from our SLO. They don't talk fine. I really think that in he really outspoken. But OIC now one of the oldest institutions, if not the oldest. I don't know how long they don't do, but the years where OIC don't and the people at OIC don't produce, OIC supposed to don't grow more than the style they do right now. We talk about education.
Absolutely.
Even the 633 for system waiting camp, they invest a very big role for do the technical side where OIC they take care of. And who were then outside country overseas, I know they London, but Festus William they go agree with me. That side they are at the middleman level in the country there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Very few people. Like people coaches going to office, very few people, maybe 5 or 6% of the population. 50, 60 people.
Salias, director, they ask you which kind of growth did they talk about? In which area?
And the OIC come into play. So if government able to support OIC or OIC management really able to put in place and help the community, it will really build the capacity. The youth, it will also help the country for develop. I mean, we get people when they over there, they drive trucks, when they drive Cuba, when they drive lead, and then they survive. Everybody in a government or everybody depend on government to provide employment. And every developed country, government only maybe that 10% where they provide employment. On other people, the general public, and then they provide employment. So if OIC really government able to support OIC or any other institution where they look for OIC, they put things in place, then employment will come in the country.
Hello, Salias.
Yes.
You talk about growth. Growth in which area you talk about?
Well, in diverse ways. If you ask the question based on OIC, then they need more support, and OIC just need for the management.
Ready to go.
You ask the question, please.
Timothy.
Yeah, first of all,
yeah, I just want to add a bit more to waiting Silas just now about OIC. You know, I want to be listening. So many questions are popping up in my head. You know, it's nice to know how old this institution has been. You know, but because of the age and how long they've been around, the question is, why have they not applied for full education establishment status, for example? You know, I mean, I do believe they have a lot of kudos behind them that shouldn't be an issue. Now, you know, because you got to ask yourself the question, what kind of national qualification will be given by a participant from this establishment? Putting all this aside, I think the key thing, just as Salas we don't say, that is for any economic growth, for any national growth, you need middlemen like this. And this have been talked about yesterday. Remember when we look at that gentleman when they just appointed him as the chairman? I don't know if you're following yesterday. Now, I did mention that, you know, government support is by voter in engaging the youth through public-private partnership, and SLOIC may fit into such PPI initiative. You know, so my suggestion for the director, you should consider seeking funding from the government through NACSA, provided there is the clarity of what benefits will be derived by those working through their doors. The funding should cover overheads and save participants from paying the 500,000 liaison they ask for. Because not to all man able to afford, then come in a day in an environment of Sierra Leone. You know, SOIC should consider offering participants the one that will go with them. Offer them. I'm not saying I read the director they talk about how they work with the employers, them, how they offer the human resources to employer. That's all well and good. But these participants, content in day, you give them an opportunity to gain employment quicker if you go and work with work-based experiences, linking them with on a voluntary basis with various employers where they can gain on-job work experience, then they will enhance their employability. Because some of them maybe go on work, voluntary work placement with one company, and in habit, the way they do work, the campus way they combination of that. But by the time they've done a week or 2 or 6 weeks of that kind of program, sometimes the employer will let them. Even though they don't get space, you'll be surprised how employers can create jobs simply because they get one asset, a valuable asset when they're person. They can train them. When they find out this person will not want me to go, they can create employment for them. I'm sure Silas will agree with me. This is something that happens in this part of the world. You know, you have a program like that. Actually, I mean, OIC is happening.
All right.
Sorry, there's Silas. You're not saying why now.
First of all, I want to turn the mic to the director for making a response to some of points I want to go out. Yes, director.
Yeah, basically, I thank my brothers for the contributions that they make out there. But I just want to say, like the OIC almost they na them corridors and they, but like we it's suggested for tap funding from NACSA and other places. I just want to say here is that most times when we talk about funding, you know, you get whether they give you money or whether they give you money. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The government of Sierra Leone, they get a responsible for education for the people and for young people. And because of this, then they also help with what we call subvention in their own way for let them boost the running cost and capacity of the organization. So over the years, we have benefited from this as an organization. Yeah, irrespective of the fact that we generate income, we get income from other people. The government of Sierra Leone said they make their own input to that day for ensure say we get a smooth run. So that is not an issue for let we not go. I just want to tell you, brother, say as we speak, we got what you call job finding techniques when we introduce into wheel training programs. Even when the COVID they hit right now. This morning I just get feedback from people there, when are we young people and when are trainees and when they do with you. Quite many of them not there for come back in September. When will they open back? Because then they call me saying they have been employed. The job finding techniques like the pineapple industry now, where they don't open as Subuya, don't accommodate a whole lot of agricultural products and trainees there. Get there, Timothy, and interview them and interview for yourself. Okay. You understand? Yeah. Then you get the feel of what at the top. The quite many of them will go see Awutai are not coming back. Did they get me? They got employment. Like I told you, quite many who gone to McKinney are not coming back. Definitely because they got employment there. But then the employment issue here is everywhere, even Europe, where they employment issues, them with their problem across the country. They are not going to be alarming like how we get no money, but then we get issues with that one day.
Director, first off, make sure say the 500,000 is too much.
It's a let we find source for let we go get her from some other person else. Yeah. Well, we hope that we will get her from some other person else when the need arises. But what we have now, you understand, not go able at least waive that one day off for let we complement the training programs. You get me? From even donor partners. Because what donor partners are really suggesting, now the input of the person is accessible to the program. You get me? Over the years, when people in the right ordinary application for Go OIC, we dey get a lot of applicants there, but none of them know they go there. Sometimes you dey get like 100 or 10 or 30, 40 they go there. But if somebody gets to the OIC now, for example, they say, and they go OIC, you put small more. You know, say you don't put something. You dey get interesting now. We get a lot of people where they say, I don't learn now. Timothy, you go OIC. I don't learn now. It don't reach 1 month, 2 months. You see the person go. Sometimes you know we get at 1, 2 years, come back. This is how they go. But now, training retention, because they get an input into their learning programs, training retention not become very high. All right. I agree with you that the money, yes, not going to be hardly reached by quite many people. You understand? If there is an alternative to it, then it will be fine. But over the years, what donor partners are saying, no donor, not the way they give you money across the world, will not they demand your contribution. If there is no contribution for that you make, that money they don't give you. So therefore, there must be a donor contribution. There must be an IP when I implementing partner contribution before ever you receive it.
First off, you don't listen. Director don't clarify the side of the money. Yeah. So what's it gonna be you take on the
I think what you keep in, I don't know if Namina make Mr. very clear to director. Constantly and continuously, there's always a challenge. There's always government policies that involve capacity building. What you expect the director for the do or OSP for the do, they for the be up to date in terms of what funding is available where. Now, governments, the current government are looking at engaging the youth. The OSC is there to provide support for the youth. So there is always a need where there is always an avenue for you to tap into that kind of resources. You just have to identify what are the current needs, what are the government and strategy, what are the focus right now in terms of youth empowerment, in terms of capacity building. Then you channel a program towards that. You don't have to, because it's like the generic. OSC is generic in what they are providing. They cover almost everything. Sometimes you need to narrow it down, be more specific according to changing needs of the society. Currently, the government want to do something huge. What is more important for OIC is to identify what area is government going. What are the drives of the government in terms of capacity building, in terms of youth empowerment, and then you can tailor-make a program that the people can benefit from as well. You've been long-standing as an organization, as an establishment. So take advantage of that. Just constantly renew. Have a look at what is going on. There is something going on right now. Government wants to do something to empower the youth. Yeah.
Director, one for react.
Yes, Silas. Festus. I just want for keeping in loop.
Yeah.
The executive director of the OIC program is a proactive person. And one assurance I want to give you say that even the service level agreement for this year signed with the government of Sierra Leone, now for now we will work in line with government aspirations. And because of this, the OIC is now at a second space in having the government grant of 7.4 billion. You understand? And that is for the skills development. It's a project from the World Bank. This is a project from the World Bank, and the OIC is one of the strategic partners as I speak, being shortlisted because we have gone through the first phase, and the second phase is what we do now for proposal writing for the World Bank development program for us to capacitate more youth across the country. So the OIC is not sleeping at all. You understand? We are on top of the situation, and God being our helper, we are there because we have a very good outstanding record with the government of Sierra Leone when it comes to capacity building for young people and placing them in job. And I don't want to tell and say, even like last year, we are the only institution who get job developers across the country. Job developers capacitated with, the logistical support that is required for them to go out to at least be at the institution, for them to have the industrial relations in communities where they find themselves, and also have job placement strategy for our graduates. That's the beauty about our work.
Silas, you do online, right?
Yes, of course.
Alright, you don't listen to the clarification with director don't begin inside the program. So what's not take?
Yeah, I just want to applaud the director. Like I say, it's a day on top of what we do. But like Festus they say, they still need to do a little bit more for stick money or funding elsewhere to make sure say it continue for growth in the institution. Then the issue of the money they say people they good, let's put their own money to the system, the student then. But the 500,000 to say by looking at economic situation.
Absolutely.
That might drive from them. We want for coming and say, I want to go number 500,000. Even if then people they pay money, somehow, if possible, and let the institution get funded elsewhere for cover up what is payment they are supposed to pay. So I'm doing that one day. They are to get points, but we need how to build the middleman level. And the more they get students, the more we and that help the community. But the less they help people, the more we get idlers or people outside the state. Otherwise, they say the idle man workshops. depending people think about pretty bad. Since we normally then they happen, we don't come to the visit we can visit all day. From a queen to how long to there with the pray and wait for long life and we body, but we want to go back home because they tell you there is no place like home. The freedom
Absolutely.
Just can I will able to make money, no not in make my salon right now, but what salon they like I mean place the you we want to advise you. This even take the next way I want for about way on a program is the day to day where somebody talk about council of they already see the council of this now one way at the top brothers that way they listen. Let me begin from where we they don't day for day, mean I SLPP a day, mean I APC na APC a day. Move from that level and we'll say and let me go for that we move so this person able to improve with country, be able to improve with community. If we don't say this person then at this party, by the end of the day, it is what we vote in for. Let we not vote champion. And not stop vote for people after election what is students doing. Election and also the election. Let's come in to tweet. Let's come to get to what they happen. Let me tweet. Let's try to what they ask to say. What after election you come because again one of them it touch me and make I think so deep. So I just want for whole hand up.
Alright, first one, quick one, which is
yeah, I had my voice to waiting Silas say. You know, I'm glad you know more say we get other person now, when William brother from other part of the continent of the world. So it's not just waiting William they say no more, waiting William they say. But what he made a very, very valid point there. That is something I hope that all the politicians in Sierra Leone will learn from. Not just turn your back on your people, then the electorate, now then put you there. At least if now once a month, they work on a constituency. Just sit down with them, go eat with them, go play with them, play ball with them, do things that they do normally with them. And then in the process of that, you'll be able to gather enough information about what is their challenges from last time you've been elected up to now. So down there you're missing. And of course, it touched me. I just say, wait, just silence. You know, these people are complaining about something that they shouldn't be complaining about. You know, it is wrong as a politician. They don't elect you. You come and talk good one. People that believe you, they elect you. Members say that integrity. And I hope the members of parliament, the councillors, whoever it is that are in the elected office are listening. Go back, visit your people. These are people that put you there. Hear their concern. Eat with them, play with them, socialize with them. Once a month is not the end of the world. You can afford to do that, and I think it's something that Sierra Leone politicians should start taking on board now.
Alright, first off, I want for holiday. Plenty thank you to you for joining inside the program today from UK.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Alright. Silas, thank you for you be part of the program today.
You come always. This like I say, we will continue for this Sierra Leonean. Whatever impact we were able to make, do the best for back home. And this is one thing again we can really not about most of the politicians, because they don't live over social how to deal with mortal man, they know how development they go with them over to let them when they completely change, which is really not good for them. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Alright, thank you guys for being part of the program this morning. They listen to Festus, now we UK analyst, Festus William and Salas, now we United States analyst, they contribute to the program today. Well, we know that time now favor, which means I'll be there with Director Ben Say, now the Director for SLOIC video. So quick one, what will be your wrap-up message?
Well, I just want to give like the hope to our young people, because the more they get themselves useful, the more society self will use them very wisely. That they will at least take up the challenge. If they talk say we are future leaders, then we will be prepared for that future. So if you're not prepared for the present, then you cannot go for the future. So therefore prepare themselves for this present stage, and so that we'll get a brighter future. So parents and other people and more that they listen to, we You know, quite many people will not favor technical education and education. They look at and say, one, not a useful path for people, but I want to encourage them say, now the only way out for national development, now the only way out for the kind of industrial revolution that we'll get across the globe. So if anybody imbibe or embrace that, then there will be a fine environment and there will be a fine world. So let we all at least embrace technology and let we all move on and ensure that the country itself will be the aspiration of the president now for let him industrialize the country, because he believes that when the country is industrialized, everybody will get a role for play and everybody will get work for let you do rather than big English show they speak. And when once we all take up that challenge, then the world will be a better place. And Sierra Leone go one day be some go match up with some other countries. Most of them go wait for we like when they make China permanent seat at the United Nations. Now the rest of them they plant yesterday, but they have moved to technology. Sierra Leone self can do that day. Our colonial masters left with the bookish type of education. But if we, this generation now, the 21st century, we come together and industrialize ourselves, then definitely we will match up with the development of the world.
All right, many thanks to you, Bensei, for where you be part of the program today, Classic AM Live.
You're welcome, my family.
So, about the quick one, what will be your take-home message?
My take-home message for today is that make people that just stay good and stay connected to Classic Radio as they are not for compete, but for complement other radio stations and every day now for give them all the best in radio broadcasting.
Thanks to you, Savandi. How now what will be your wrap up? You don't listen to your colleagues then.
Well, if you are bookish, you go quickly retire. But if you are skillful, you don't go retire. That is my word, according to Bensei, Director SLYC.
Right.
And the listeners and viewers, tomorrow weekend press review. And our listeners will not say, well, Bensei will be one of you. Analysts now weekend press review probably tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Alright, and then Aruna Kamara, now me analyst today inside the program, and me producer na Abubakar Maskanu, me executive producer na Richard Lahaigeval, and the team na Edwin J. Lamin, Amara Yongai, DJ Yomi, the international DJ, P. Blake, Siavandi, and Jamil Kebi, and the team for where they make this program reach today. Till we meet again Monday with another edition. Timothy Lucien, they say.